This is Terry Swoop, and I wanted to talk about why there's so many homeless people in California. Now, California is the most expensive state to live in the country. I mean, a one-bedroom apartment could cost $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. There's people in California that are making $20 an hour that are homeless, that are living out of their car that make $20 an hour. Now, in a medium-sized city or a working-class area, whether it be Nebraska or Kansas or Virginia, these places you could probably live in a 5-bedroom house for $2,000 or $3,000 a month. You could probably get a 5-bedroom house for less than $1,000 a month in my city, my hometown of Akron, Ohio. It's very cheap to live in my hometown of Akron, Ohio. Now, I'm currently living in Las Vegas. I have a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm paying about $900 a month for a 2-bedroom in Las Vegas. That's actually pretty affordable compared to other major cities. In most major cities, a 2-bedroom apartment would cost $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. But right here in Vegas, where I'm living, I got a 2-bedroom apartment for $900 a month, which is actually pretty damn affordable. And like I said, in my hometown of Akron, Ohio, you could probably get a house with 5 bedrooms for $900 a month. That's the huge difference between living in a major city versus living in a small city. But in California, it doesn't matter whether you're living in a major city or a small city. Every place, every city, every town in California is expensive. In LA alone, there's 36,000 homeless people. 36,000 homeless people in Los Angeles. This is why when you go to Los Angeles, you got people living in tents all over the place. You can't even walk down the sidewalk with all these people living in tents, it's just ridiculous. Feces all over the ground. And look, I'm not a Trump supporter, but I think Donald Trump was absolutely right to call out the politicians in Los Angeles and in California for allowing this to go on. You would think they would build some shelters for these people to stay in, but there's not enough shelters to hold all the people. And what's crazy is there's more millionaires and billionaires that live in California than any other state in the country. All these millionaires and billionaires, you would think they would put together some money to help the homeless, to get the homeless off the street, but none of that. There's none of that. All these people are living on the street, living in tents, and they don't really have any programs to help the homeless in Los Angeles or San Diego or San Francisco. The most expensive city to live in California is actually San Francisco. San Francisco is the most expensive city to live in the country. It's more expensive than Miami. It's more expensive than Orlando. It's more expensive than New York. San Francisco is the most expensive city to live in all the country. And I don't understand why their rent prices are so high. Because there's nothing really fancy going on in San Francisco. So I don't understand why the rent is so high in San Francisco. There's only a few things going on in that city. I mean, they got They got sports teams and stuff like that. You got the 49ers. They also have a baseball team. And then you have the famous bridge. But there's not really a lot going. It's not really a party city. San Francisco is not a party city. It's not a party city like Miami or New York or LA. These are party cities that people from around the country go to in order to have a good time. I've never heard of anybody saying they're going to go to San Francisco to go party or to go have a good time. So I don't understand why the rent is so high in San Francisco.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ken Bastida. Bay Area rents already sky high, you know that, but now we're learning prices just hit a whole new level.
The median rent for a one-bedroom in San Francisco has reached $3,690. Next in line, Mountain View at $3,450. Emeryville, $3,050. Milpitas, $2,800. San Jose, $2,500 for a one-bedroom rental.
Not all homeless people are the same. A lot of people think if you're homeless, you must be a drug addict or you must be a person that's mentally ill. In California, there's people who are homeless that work 40-hour-a-week jobs, but it's so expensive to live. This is the reason why they're homeless. This is why you have so many people living out of their car in California. Like I said, there's people making $20 an hour who are homeless, who are sleeping in their car because they can't afford rent. If you make $15 or $20 an hour, that's not enough money to pay $3,000, $4,000 a month rent. Not unless every dime you make is going towards rent and bills. That's not enough money. In order to survive in California, particularly the major cities in California, you need to be making at least $30 an hour. You need to be making at least $30 an hour and at least $100,000 a year or more. If you're not making at least $100,000 a year in California, you're going to be homeless. You're going to be sleeping out of your car. So, I mean, this seems like a $15 or $20 an hour is a lot of money in a small city. In a city like the cities in Ohio or the cities in Virginia, in some of those cities, that's a lot of money. But in California or New York, that's nothing. 15 or 20 an hour, that's absolutely nothing. Because the price of living is so high, you have to be making $30 an hour to survive in California. Or you're going to be living on the street. You're going to be living out of your car. So a lot of people need to stop assuming that every person that's homeless must be this unemployed drug addict that just lays on their ass all day and does drugs. That's not the case. Now, for some people that are homeless in California, that is the case. But I would say 50% of the homeless people in California are basically working. They're working 40-hour weeks. They're working $20 an hour jobs. But it's so expensive to live in California. This is the reason why it's so many homeless. So this is why I would never live in California. I went to California to visit once. I went to LA and I saw so many homeless people sleeping on the streets. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video and talk about this problem for what it is. Because every person that's homeless is not the same. A lot of people have this stigma that every person that's homeless must be this drug addict, dysfunctional person. That's not always the case. So I just think people should keep an open mind. If I do help out somebody that's homeless, I'm going to help out somebody that's trying to do something with their life. Like if I come across a homeless person that's going to work every day, that's the type of homeless person I would help out, because that's a person trying to better their life. That's a person trying to get on their feet. These are the type of homeless people that people should give a room to. Like if you have an extra room at your house, you should give it to that working class homeless person. But then you have those homeless people who don't work, who don't want to work, who just lay on their ass and try to get high every day and try to get drunk every day. These are the homeless people you can't really help because they have mental issues. The homeless people who have mental issues, you can't really do anything for them because until they change their own behavior, you can't really help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves. You can only help somebody who wants to help themselves. And these are the type of people I want to help out. These are the type of people I want to do charity work and help out and try to give them a place to stay. A lot of people have different opinions about this topic. Leave a comment, rate, and subscribe.